Right now at noon, a proposed data center near Joplin divides community members and lawmakers alike.
And while we're looking pretty good today, cool, sunny out there, we are tracking the potential for a winter storm this weekend. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a buyout offer for a longtime Carthage industry fails. What that could mean for the future of Leggett and Platt.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Police obtain an arrest warrant for Aljon Smith, the suspect in connection to an aggravated bank robbery in Fort Smith, Arkansas. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Samantha Walker. Authorities are still investigating the bank robbery that took place yesterday at the First National Bank. The suspect appeared to be carrying a pistol and fled west after the incident. No injuries were reported, but Smith is believed to be armed and extremely dangerous. You can find more details on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now let's check in with Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we're looking pretty nice out there right now. From our camera in downtown Pittsburgh, clear skies overhead, sunny conditions, temperatures approaching seasonable levels, maybe even a little above average out there. Quick look, MoDOT camera 20th in range line in Joplin. Plenty of folks again out there starting their day, heading out for lunch. And in about 72 hours or so, maybe a little less, it's going to be a lot different view, which we'll discuss with you in just a moment. First, though, look at the numbers from yesterday. 10 degrees below normal is where we started. But take a look at that nice warm-up. 3 degrees above average, ending up into the upper 40s. And temperatures this afternoon already doing pretty good. 43 in Joplin, 42 in Pittsburgh. Around the region, most of us into the upper 30s and low to mid 40s. In fact, now our upper 30s have cleared out, so we're low mid 40s across the region. So, and even some upper 40s. Look at Nevada, 47. Do have a bit of a breeze, not a major one, but it's enough that it does feel a little cooler. That's where those upper 30s and low 40s come in, is with some of those wind chills across the area. Clear skies through the evening and overnight. Temperatures dropping, though, back in the low 30s by 11. We're seasonably cold overnight, so that means back into the mid 20s. Now, we've got the snow coming in and dangerously cold temperatures into the weekend. We're going to go over everything you need to know and what we know so far here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Thanks, Chris. Joplin residents turned out in force last night to challenge a proposed data center project in the Wildwood Ranch area. City Council chambers overflowed as members weighed annexing 540 acres and rezoning 600 acres to heavy industrial. Supporters point to potential jobs and investment, comparing it to the Google data center in Pryor, Oklahoma.
We're not going to be stomped on. We know what's going on here. We know the politicians. That's another thing. Politicians get money through special interests and campaign donations. I want full disclosure from the Congressman Burleson, from your state rep, from every city council person, from the mayor. I want to see what's in their wallet.
The council voted 7-2 to approve annexation on first reading, as the rezoning debate will go into a second and third vote at the next council meeting. Missouri leaders are also raising concerns as more data centers are under construction across the Midwest. Transparency surrounding these facilities continues to be a concern, as well as the potential impact to electricity costs. KOAM Blake Goley breaks down the debate.
Across the 4 states, more data centers are being proposed or built. These are large facilities that store and process digital information for cloud services, AI, and large corporations. Supporters say they bring investment and jobs, but critics warn they could also place heavy demands on the power grid. U.S. Senator Josh Hawley weighed in on the issue, saying Missourians deserve affordable and reliable electricity. They should not be forced to subsidize corporate projects while struggling to keep their lights on. Data centers operate around the clock, running thousands of servers and cooling systems that require constant electricity. According to the National Caucus of Environmental Legislators, a large data center can consume as much electricity as 100,000 households. Congressman Eric Burleson believes data centers is the way forward for Missouri.
Yes, you're going to get a huge job boost when in the construction, but you're also going to get a lot of benefit from people that are highly trained, highly paid jobs to be able to service those facilities and those servers, as well as the taxes that will come with it. Again, there's the personal property taxes that business will pay will be a huge benefit for your local school district and fire district.
And the debate is expected to continue as the 4 states move forward with other data center projects. Blake Gully, KOAM News.
Missouri's discussion mirrors a broader national trend as data center projects continue to expand across the country. A buyout offer for a longtime Carthage industry fails. In December, Somni Group made an unsolicited stock offer to acquire Leggett & Platt for $12 a share. Leggett & Platt's board of directors declined the proposal, saying it was undervalued. In the meantime, the board says it has reached a 6-month standstill agreement with Somni Group, which will approve both sides to explore whether an agreement can be reached that would benefit Leggett & Platt and its shareholders. Somni Group is the world's largest bedding company, serving more than 100 countries. Justin Thomas, the owner of the Wildflower in Joplin, warns placing orders early may help avoid that last-minute desperation. Valentine's Day is quickly approaching, but consumers should start placing orders and researching where to shop now to avoid scams and guarantee delivery.
Especially at the holiday times, there's all kinds of scammers out there that will tell you that they're local and they're really not. And it's just a third-party source for us. But the best thing to do is to pick up the phone, actually speak to a real florist.
Not only floral shops, but bakeries also require advance notice for specialty items. Chocolate-covered strawberries and custom arrangements need extra preparation time. Well, coming up, President Trump is addressing global leaders at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. The speech comes as growing anxiety over the president's threats to impose tariffs on European countries who oppose his plan to take control of Greenland. And later, we're making a country French chicken in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. President Trump reiterated his determination to take control of Greenland during his highly anticipated address at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. The president started his speech by touting his administration's agenda on the economy, but he then pivoted to the topic that's triggered an international standoff. Natalie Brand has details from the White House.
Would you like me to say a few words of Greenland?
President Trump took the stage in Davos with his push to acquire Greenland looming over the international conference.
It's the United States alone that can protect this giant mass of land, this giant piece of ice, develop it and improve it.
During his address, he didn't hold back, saying the island is critical for U.S. national security, adding he wants immediate negotiations.
This would not be a threat to NATO. This would greatly enhance the security of the entire alliance.
The president said for the first time he would not use force.
I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force.
But he also issued this warning.
You can say yes, and we will be very appreciative, or you can say no, and we will remember.
President Trump is expected to have a number of meetings with European leaders who have been standing with Denmark in opposition to his Greenland plans. During his speech, the president took swipes at Europe and NATO.
We'll be there for them 100%, but I'm not sure that they'd be there for us. If we gave them the call, gentlemen, we are being attacked.
NATO's Secretary General Mark Rutte has tried to de-escalate tensions.
I think President Trump is right. Other leaders in NATO are right. We need to defend the Arctic. We know that these sea lanes are opening up. We know that China and Russia are increasingly active in the Arctic.
Danish officials are not attending the World Economic Forum, but the Prime Minister said while the country is ready to discuss security, negotiating sovereignty is off the table. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
We've got a recipe for an ancient one-pot cooking method that has stood the test of time. You'll see.
And we are keeping an eye on those snow chances and potential for a winter storm this weekend. We'll break it down for you when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM, my goodness, the KOAM News at noon. It is a pretty decent day shaping up for us. We're actually going to be at or a little above average, but today's not what we're really focused on. We are going to start, though. Quick look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Skies are clear. It looks fantastic. All right, on to the future track we go. What we're going to do is, because I already told you, today isn't that bad. Tomorrow, on the other hand, not bad either. We're going to be pretty seasonable, but what happens tomorrow is a cold front's going to push through a little later in the day, and that cold front is one of the key points here in setting the stage for the conditions to be favorable for our snow heading into this weekend. Now, there are so many. First off, there's been a number of changes since this morning when we last saw you. Second, there are still a number of variables in play out there as to how this is going to work. We have a low pressure that's off in the Pacific, off the coast of the Baja of California right now. Because it's over water, well, the buoys out there don't launch weather balloons. They don't study it. We have to wait for it to actually make landfall, which it will do in the next about 48 hours or less. Then we can start getting better data from it and determining its purpose, kind of asking what you doing, where are you going? What do you want to do today? We'll get better information. All we're doing now is what the data suggests it will do. Like right now, we're like trying to call it. We can't reach it. It's unreachable. So we're taking a guess as to whether or not it's going to grandma's house. Once it gets here, it'll tell us exactly where it's going and what it's doing. So here's what we're expecting still at this point. Friday, noon, cloudy, cold. Gets cold tomorrow night. It will not do much warming on Friday. In fact, our highs Friday at this point expected to be colder than our average lows. All right, Friday afternoon, 3 o'clock. You can already see some changes. If you're with us this morning, a little more snow, a little further east on the future track this morning by 3. Now it's not as much. As we go into the evening hours Friday, our evening commute, especially into southeastern Kansas, could be impacted. School, we're not worried about on Friday being impacted at this point. It's your commute. And if you're heading out Friday or heading out this weekend, you might want to change your plans. Snow continues to spread across the area, starts to ramp up late Friday night into early Saturday morning. Now again, this data, this is a short range one. It's updated a little bit since this morning, goes a little further, but you can see where we stick with the snow all the way through Saturday morning through the bulk of the areas. Now we're going to switch over to the one that goes a little further through the rest of Saturday, snow. But you see these lighter colors? We may actually get a brief transition to light snow out of the first wave. Then a second wave comes in late Saturday into early Sunday. That one's the one where the bulk of the snow we see, regardless of how much it is, that's where it's going to fall. Now, we'll have accumulating snow by the time you wake up Saturday morning. There will already be snow sticking to the roads, sticking to the grass, sticking to everything. But the heaviest snow is expected late Saturday into Sunday, and it could hang with us, especially into some of our southern counties, into the late evening hours across the area. So that's what we want to watch. On top of that, the bitterly cold temperatures. We're talking wind chills down 10 to 20 below zero, and we are looking at winds gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour, which could, in heavier snow situations, lead to blizzard-like conditions in certain areas. Not everywhere, but in certain areas. Now, these numbers, they're higher than this morning, too. They're up by quite a bit. Again, don't write these numbers down as fact just yet, but you can see that's why we now have, which I'll show you, winter storm watches across virtually the entire area. We're looking at some heavier snow amounts. Will it be this high? Probably not. Not likely. But we are looking at, let's say, upwards of 3 to 5 inches up in this zone. We get a little further south. We're now in about a 5 to 9 inch zone. We go a little further south, maybe 9 to 10 inches or so out there. So that's what we want to watch. And that's why, again, winter storm watches now across virtually the entire area except for Anderson and Coffee counties. You fall under the Topeka Weather Service office, and Topeka has not issued anything. Wichita went in through here. Kansas City went in through here. Springfield added the rest of this, all within about a 30 to 40 minute window between the 11 and noon hour. They added these winter storm watches out there. So we'll continue to monitor this. You need to continue to monitor it. And snow aside, we are still talking the dangerously cold temperatures. So we now have gone ahead with an alert day for Saturday, not just for the snow, but the fact that that cold is going to be very bad. We're all right again tomorrow, mid-40s. That cold front comes through. We're low to mid-20s Friday, only into the teens on Saturday. Still watching Sunday, more so for the dangerous cold. And any snow we get, the problem is it's very likely going to have impacts Monday morning for school, for your commute, because it's not going to melt. So be prepared for Monday for the potential for some school cancellations, especially where we get some heavier snow out there as we head into the weekend. And as we get a little closer, we're going to get much more refined information on those numbers. And we, of course, will keep you updated on those snow totals as we get closer. But now is the time to just make sure you're ready.
Yes.
Make sure you don't have anything to do this weekend.
Definitely. Well, thank you, Chris. Stick around. We're making country French chicken in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. We're making country French chicken in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Here in the test kitchen, we love one-pot cooking. And this method is so foolproof, people have been doing it for thousands of years. We're talking about clay pot cooking. And after testing it recently, we confirmed that after all these years, it still cooks our food to perfection. And the best part, it's super easy. We start by soaking a clay roasting pan and its lid in water for about 10 to 15 minutes. You see, since it's porous, it absorbs water, and when we cook in it, it releases steam, making our food nice and moist. And to put this to the test, here's what we did. We stuffed the whole chicken with some cut up onions and a few sprigs of parsley before seasoning it. Now, we place it in our clay pot and surround it with more onions along with some chunked up red potatoes and baby carrots. We pour a little wine over it, maybe add a few of your own favorite herbs, cover it, and into the oven it goes. And the key to cooking in clay bakeware is that we don't preheat our oven. That's really important, because if we do, the clay may crack. Then we bake it off in a really hot oven for about an hour and a half. And when you serve this up, accented with the herbs and wine, you'll wonder why you waited so long to try this ancient cooking technique. And yes, the recipe for country French chicken is online now, so you can roast the juiciest chicken ever. And if you don't have a clay pot yet, don't worry. You can still make this in your old standby roasting pan, and it'll still be amazing. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a classic way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Now here's a look at the 4 state market prices.
All right, again, winter storm watches for virtually the entire area from Friday afternoon into Sunday early morning. And we also have an extreme cold watch for parts of Kansas and Oklahoma from Friday morning through Monday morning with the extreme cold. So we're watching that alert day on Saturday. Snow chances out there. We'll have better information on exact totals, but it's enough that you need to be prepared now for a winter storm and be prepared for those wind chills dropping upwards of 20 below zero as we head into the weekend.
Thanks, Chris. Definitely something to watch. What do you have for us tonight?
Well, lots coming up at 5. For starters, more companies are going shoe-free in workplaces, citing comfort and health benefits of leaving germs from streets and sidewalks at the door. It's a trend in tech. A website tracks companies worldwide that are doing this. Plus, details after the Yates Center City Council votes to disband the city's police department. And a look at how the 4 states are preparing for the potentially hazardous road conditions. Hope you join us at 5.
Thanks, Dow. That's the news for now. Thank you for joining us for KOAM News at noon. Have a great afternoon.